Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Integrated Wellness. I am Siddharth Khuller, and today we are going to explore a topic that touches so many of our lives: the connection between low self-worth, unhealthy boundaries, and the negative spiral they can create. We'll explore how these issues develop, the impact they can have, and more importantly, some practical strategies for breaking free and cultivating a more positive sense of self. So get comfortable, grab a cup of tea, and let's start. First, let's unpack what I mean by low self-worth. Essentially, this is a deep-seated feeling that you're not good enough, that you're somehow unworthy or undeserving of love, respect, and good treatment. These beliefs can stem from a variety of experiences. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you were constantly criticized or made to feel small. Maybe you've been through toxic relationships that chipped away at your self-esteem. Or perhaps you've simply internalized negative messages from society or your own inner critic over time. Regardless of the origins, low self-worth can color the way you see yourself and navigate the world. Now, one of the biggest ways low self-worth manifests is through poor boundaries. Boundaries are essentially the limits we set around what we will and won't accept in our relationships and interactions. They help us protect our time, energy, emotions, and personal space. But when we don't value ourselves, setting and enforcing healthy boundaries can feel impossible. After all, if we don't believe we inherently deserve respect and good treatment, how can we demand it from others? Here's what that can look like in practice. Maybe you have a hard time saying no, even when you're exhausted or overwhelmed, because you don't want to let others down. Maybe you stay in one-sided friendships or romantic relationships where your needs are constantly ignored or trampled. Perhaps you let people take advantage of your kindness or make jokes at your expense, laughing it off even though it hurts. Or maybe you pour all your time and energy into pleasing others, leaving little room for your own self-care and passions. The problem is, the more you let people cross your boundaries, the more it reinforces those core feelings of unworthiness. It's like every violation of your limits is proof that you don't matter, that you're not worthy of respect. And so the negative spiral begins. Poor boundaries lead to poor treatment, which leads to even lower self-worth, which makes it even harder to set boundaries the next time around. A vicious cycle that can leave us feeling trapped, depleted, and deeply unhappy. But here's the good news. This cycle can be broken. The key is to start rebuilding your sense of self-worth from the inside out and letting that newfound strength radiate out into your relationships and interactions. So where do we begin? The first step is simply becoming aware of your negative self-talk and beliefs. Start noticing when you mentally beat yourself up, dismiss your own needs, or compare yourself harshly to others. These thoughts can be so automatic that we hardly register them, but they have a profound impact on how we feel and behave. Once you start catching those thoughts, you can begin to challenge and reframe them. This is where positive self-talk comes in. Every time you notice a negative thought about yourself, consciously counter it with a kinder, more compassionate one. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm so stupid," you might replace that with, "I'm human and humans make mistakes. My worth isn't defined by perfection." Or if your inner voice says, "I don't deserve to be treated well," we counter that with, "I am inherently worthy of love and respect just like everyone else." It may feel awkward or unnatural at first, but over time, This practice can help rewire our internal dialogue to be more supportive and uplifting. Another powerful tool is self-care. When you constantly take the time to nurture your mind, body, and soul, it sends a strong message to yourself that you value yourself. This could be as simple as taking a relaxing bath, going for a nature walk, or saying no to extra commitments so you can rest. It is about treating yourself with the same kindness and consideration that you'd show to a dear friend. The more you prioritize self-care, the more you reinforce the belief that you matter and your needs are important. As you work on your inner relationship, you can also start setting small, manageable boundaries in the outer world. This could look like saying no to an unreasonable request at work, even if it feels scary. It could mean speaking up kindly but firmly when a friend routinely cancels plans last minute. Or it might be deciding not to answer calls or texts after a certain time each night so you can wind down. Remember, boundaries aren't about being mean or rigid. They're about honoring your own needs and limits. Start small, celebrate your successes, and build from there. As you practice setting boundaries, some people in your life may react negatively. They may try to guilt or pressure you into going back to old patterns. This is where having a solid sense of self is so key. When you truly know your worth, it is easier to weather external resistance. Stand firm in your conviction that you deserve to have your limits respected even if others don't like it. Lastly, seek out people and environments that support your growth. Surround yourself with friends, family members, or even a therapist who celebrate your progress and cheer on your self-worth journey. Engage in communities or hobbies that light you up and make you feel good about yourself. Create an ecosystem in your life that nourishes your sense of inherent value. Remember, unlearning low self-worth and building better boundaries is a process. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of self-compassion. You're essentially reparenting yourself, giving yourself all the love, respect, and care you may not have received growing up. Be patient and kind with yourself as you heal and grow. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. And in those inevitable moments when you slip into old patterns or negative self-talk, gently redirect yourself back to the path of self-love. You are worthy. You are enough. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness by others and by yourself. Let these truths be your North Star as you navigate the journey ahead. Thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And always remember, you matter deeply and your needs and wants are valid. Keep shining your light in the world. We need it. Until next time, take good care of yourself.